Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is PJP and in this video I'm gonna do something a bit different from my usual K-pop reaction videos. Instead, what I'm gonna do is tell you my top 15 K-pop songs of 2019. But before we get into it, I just want to apologize again for not posting for several days. That is because, I mentioned it in my last K-pop reaction video that I was sick. And I've been sick I'd say 5 days at this point. And then during that day I was sick, but I wasn't feeling that bad. Then the day after it got worse. Now again I feel better, and I think it's definitely past at this point, but who knows. And as you can see, I'm still sick, so it's not like I'm cured or anything. But yeah, let's get into the list. So 2019 wasn't the best year for K-pop, from multiple controversies ranging from simple dating scandals to actual criminal offenses, multiple cancellations of idols, whether undeservedly or deservedly. In my opinion, most of the cancellations were undeserved. And additionally, pretty much half a dozen of idols ended up leaving their groups. Probably even more, but just the ones that I know are about half a dozen. And yeah, including that, even musically 2019 wasn't the most impressive year. Groups that had some of the best songs during 2018, like Twice, BTS, Blackpink, the big groups that you would expect to be the one to lead the charge in terms of those songs, were largely underwhelming. Now, I know this is a subjective opinion and most people like the songs still, and I have my controversial opinions about almost all of these songs, but yeah, in general I was very disappointed by BTS's release, Blackpink's release, Twice's releases, 17's releases. All of them ranging from either me absolutely hating the song, feeling underwhelmed, or just eh. And if you want me to get into why I didn't like those songs, and maybe even making a top 10 worst K-pop songs of 2019, which is not exactly going to be the worst songs, but the ones which I think disappointed me the most. But luckily, the small groups, the rookie groups, the new groups in general stepped up and made 2019 an actually pretty solid year in terms of iconic songs. So yeah, that explains why you're not going to see in this list groups like G-Friend, Red Velvet. You're not gonna see the big established groups here, really. So, to start off this list, we're gonna start with Lee Jin-hyuk from Uptension and his song I Like That. And yes, there are gonna be several solo artists too. In general, I'm not adding them because in general I do not listen to solo artists that much, because I'm more of a group fan, and in general, specifically for K-pop, I like it because it's mostly groups. But I do have some artists that I follow. For a while I followed Samuel, who you may or may not know, but he hasn't posted, he hasn't released a music video and a song and an album or anything for a while now. I think ever since his dad was murdered. I don't know. But yeah, so recently I got into Uptension, specifically their song Blue Rose, which is definitely gonna be in the top 10 list of 2018, which I'm gonna release at some point next month, but yeah. So I think it was Yuri who requested me to check out this song, and I freaking love it. It's exactly the type of music I love from K-pop, especially now when I feel like K-pop is kind of moving away from what it used to be, whether it's evolving or devolving depending on who you ask. It's definitely changing, and this kind of music like his are exactly my thing. Lots of rapping, lots of dancing, and just energetic as hell. I love a song like this one. And especially I love this song so much because as I said, Uptension's Blue Rose is such a good song. It's probably gonna be in the top 5 of 2018 songs, even though I listened to it this year. And their most recent song, which was the comeback after Blue Rose, aka the song Your Gravity, I liked it and it was actually pretty good, but it definitely wasn't to the level of Blue Rose. But this is much closer to that, and frankly I wish they saved this good of a song for that. Although it's not like Jin Hyuk made the song worse, it's still pretty great. But yeah, it's kind of the worst song of this list, but yeah, I love it. I really love it. So let's move on to number 14. On number 14 is gonna be COC's No. I gotta admit, I was questioning which song I should go for COC, because any of the No, Me, or Devil, and for a second there I thought of actually putting Black Dress as a top as COC's song, but I realized that Black Dress was a 2018 song, not 2019, so it didn't work. And I decided that No is the most iconic of the three, although, as I said, all three could actually fit this position, because I'd say all three are iconic in their own way. But yeah, this is a great song, girl crush yet elegant, mature. It's just so good. I love it. And it has this, I don't know if I should call it that, but maybe a bit of a feminist message, and I really like that. But it's not an overt one or anything, it's just a message for women that you don't need all this expensive stuff or this feminine stuff in general to be a woman or anything like that. That's at least my interpretation of the song. But yeah, this is a great song. And in general, COC have had a great year this year, even though they had that recent controversy, which I kind of want to get into it, but people will cancel me too if I say anything about it, so I'm not gonna get into it. But yeah, number 14, COC No. So let's move on to number 13 and the second and only other solo artist on this top 15 list, that being IU and her song Blooming. IU is another one of those artists which I've known existed in K-pop but never really listened to it. And again, it's another artist that I was able to listen to thanks to my YouTube channel. And thank fucking God I did, cause she's so good. Her music is good, but I gotta admit, I have listened to most of her music videos at this point. I still have a few, but so far, honestly, only her three most recent songs are what I would generally like. The rest, it's not bad, but it's definitely not my thing at all. The songs that I like from her are IU, are her song Blooming, which is this one, BBI BBI, which is the comeback before this, and I think if you skip one comeback going backwards, then it's going to be the third song, which is Last Night's Story. Those three are the only songs that I liked and were generally my taste. The rest, as I said, they're not bad, they're just not my thing. And I really love this song. This is the song that made me instantly fall in love with her. It's a great popish rock song. I don't know, it's a fusion of the two in a way. And just the charm of IU is seeping through every second of the music video. She's so great. Specifically, there's a scene in the music video in which she just dances so adorably. And holy hell, that made me instantly fall in love with her. thanks to, I think it was Kako who requested me to react to her. Thank you for requesting me to do that. I'm really happy that I did. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. That being number 12 and A.C.E.'s Undercover. So, about this spot specifically, there were a few other contenders for this, but I decided to go with this one, and specifically with Undercover, because it was the song that introduced me to Ace, and it's probably, no, I think I can almost definitely say that this is the hardest hitting song, K-pop song that I've ever listened to. Holy hell, I don't even remember exactly how I stumbled upon it. I just remember browsing on YouTube. I think it was a recommendation or something. I have no idea. Maybe I'm making this stuff up as I go along. But I remember listening to it and holy hell, it's so hard hitting. It's the kind of K-pop that I freaking love listening to, because you might not love it from the first listen, but you're gonna fall in love with it the more you listen to it. And yeah, it has this rock sound to it, and it's so hard hitting, but it's also shares something similar with another song on this list, which I'm not gonna reveal now, but when I get to it, where it is going to be satisfying and hard hitting and have a drop and everything, but it also in a way is gonna leave you unsatisfied, so you would want to listen to it more and more and more. So I love that. Also, the music video is awesome, the outfits are great, everything about it is so fucking good. And I gotta say, Savage could also be on the number 12 spot, but I think just Undercover is a bit more iconic, because Savage is not a bad song and I actually like it, but it's kind of different from Undercover. It's definitely more subdued, but still pretty cool. And it doesn't really have the rock elements of this one, but yeah, I feel like just this one is so iconic. So, let's move on to number 11, and that being AOA's Come See Me. Now, where do I start with this? I knew that AOA were on Queendom together with a bunch of other groups, but I didn't really follow the show. I checked out some performances when they were recommended to me on YouTube, but still didn't really delve into it. I know they didn't win Queendom, but since G-Idol released their song from Queendom, I was expecting AOA to do the same, which they didn't. But frankly, I think that was a good thing, because I think this song, which was the title track of their most recent mini album, is miles better than their Queendom song. And yes, the Queendom song wasn't bad, but I do think this one is better, definitely. It's definitely much better. And I'd say the vibe in general of this song and everything fits more with the outfits of the music video, which I think they also use the same or maybe similar outfits in their Queendom performance, because I ended up reacting to it, I think. I think I did it, and it's on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out. In general, you can also check out my reaction to the mini album, because I did a full on to that. And I also reacted to the music video of this. Yeah, this is a great song. It's a great evolution of AOA, and it's a different, mature kind of song, because I mean, I don't know how mature you could say their songs were, because the songs were standard K-pop, the music videos were kind of more mature. I don't know about the lyrics, because I've never really checked out AOA's lyrics that much. But in general, just the music video that were mature, but now even the song sounds more mature. And I love everything about it. It's great vocals. I love Jimin's softer, yet still good rapping. And I just want to mention, which I also did in my reaction to in the music video, I think, that the chorus of the song where they go Twilight to Twilight sounds very similar to one song which I saw in some kind of holiday performance, in which there was a video on YouTube in which Jin from BTS was going crazy dancing to this song with a bunch of other groups on a music show or something. I don't know. I have no idea what exactly it was, but that song that he was dancing to has the exact same. It's the exact same sound. So maybe if you know what it is, comment it down below so I can say it properly. But yeah, this is a great song and great evolution for A.I. Although I just want to mention, and I think mentioned it in my reaction to the mini album, I think Bingo Bango was a better mini album because, at least personally, I enjoy the Bingo Bango songs more. And it's not because I prefer happier and brighter songs rather than darker ones or whatever. I just feel those were better because I enjoy them more. Like Ladi Daddy, I fucking love that song. I think, what was the name of the other song? Do 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 or something. It's just in general, those songs I enjoyed more on average than these. For these, I'd say only the title track is better than the one from Bingo Bango, but yeah. Okay, took a bit too much on this, so let's move on to number 10, and we're finally cracking the top 10. And coincidentally, not exactly, for number 10 we have G-Idol's Lion. Yeah, same for G-Idol. I knew that they were on Queendom. Didn't know that they were going to release their songs from Queendom or anything like that. I wasn't really even sure how much hype Queendom can get or how much is gonna help those groups or whatever. But when this song dropped, I was kind of confused. I wasn't sure whether it's a comeback, and I'm still not sure whether it is considered a comeback or whatever. Probably not. They're probably gonna include the song in their next mini album or whatever. Or maybe I'm just an idiot and it's already been released or whatever. I don't know. But it was a fucking great song. It's iconic as hell. Everything from the outfits, from the choreography, the music video is fucking iconic. And the performance is honestly even better. People say that other songs like AOA's song should have won, but I disagree. I'm sorry. Like, the iOS song wasn't bad, but this is better. I'd say this is objectively better. I don't know how otherwise to say it. I hope people are not angry at me, but I do feel like this is objectively better. Everything about it is so much better. And holy hell, that part in which Soyeon raps. That's probably her most powerful rapping so far. And yeah, I know that they say Queen a lot in the song, but the song in general just has this Queen superiority kind of feel to it. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but yeah, I love it for that. It's a great song. And it has a bit of a problem, similar to, I think, 2 other songs on this list, but we'll see, because I don't remember exactly what I put on the list. It's not exactly sounding like K-pop. To me, this song sounds more something like if you have watched the Got Talent shows or any of these in general talent shows, they have an opening theme song. I don't know if it's the same in every country, but this song is very reminiscent in some way. It doesn't sound like it, but it has the exact same feel. Like, it feels like a talent team opening song, which is why, I mean, I've even seen people say that this should be the opening theme for Queendom Season 2. But yeah, it does sound a lot like a theme song for a talent show, which I guess it fits, but I just wanted to mention it. And as I said, it doesn't exactly sound like K-pop, so for me the song, while good, kind of lacks a certain replay value. I don't know exactly how to explain it. Just the fact that it doesn't sound exactly like a K-pop song makes me not really want to listen to it as much, although I think it is a really good song. But yeah, that's why it's in the 10th spot. So let's move on to number 9. Bandits, Dumb. And despite its name, the song is fucking great. ever since their debut, and I just want to mention that Band-Aid are from Chungha's agency, they didn't really impress with their debut. Like, their song wasn't bad, but it didn't stand out that much, and personally at least, I feel a lot of the instrumental of their debut song Hocus Pocus had a lot of recycled instrumentals from Chungha songs. So that's why I didn't really care about it that much. But then a few months later, I stumbled upon Dramatic performance video, and I was fucking blown away. I still to this day fucking love this song, debatably more than Dumb, but I do feel Dumb is objectively better. And I don't know, this song is, everything about it is so good. The music video is so much higher quality than the two before. The coloring is great, the outfits are great, the song in general is so good. Instead of doing the usual for K-pop where they focus on higher vocals and everything, they actually go for the lower ranges, and that makes it so much more unique. And the choreo is so cool and cute, specifically I think it's during the chorus where they do the bunny hop. And I love that part, it's so good. That's the coolest part for sure. Yeah, this is just a great song in general, and you should check it out for sure. So, let's move on to number 8, Stray Kids' Miro. Similar to some of the other songs, I think it was COC's, I could have easily put Side Effects or Double Knot or Astronaut here, because I feel like all those songs are pretty good and pretty unique and iconic. But I'd say Miro is the best because it's the one that opened it and started it all. I mean, I was kind of going for the same thought process with COC, but as I explained, Black Dress was a 2018 song, not 2019, so I cannot have really put it here. But yeah, I do think this is a really good song. It's such a hype track. It's an EDM song, so of course it's gonna be like that. Personally, I really love the fast-paced rapping in it. Like, in general, Stray Kids' rapping is so fucking good, but in this song especially, all the fast-paced like rapping that doesn't let you breathe for even a second, and like, I think Form of Therapy explained it the best. The kind of rapping where he raps longer than he actually can hold his breath in a way. So that's so fucking good, and personally at least this song is really special. Same for Side Effects, and probably it would be the same for Double Knot if I checked out the lyrics. But this song personally helped me out, the message of it, because from what I read of the lyrics, it was about being worried after you've decided to follow your dreams or whatever. At least that's my personal interpretation of the song. During the chorus, you can hear a lot of "I'm okay" if you don't want to bother reading the lyrics, but specifically these lyrics about being worried about following your dreams and stepping into this jungle where you don't know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and yet telling yourself that you're okay. This song definitely helped me in that way. Because when it was released, I was first deciding, well, it wasn't exactly when I first decided because I've wanted to be a YouTuber for years, but it was nearing my graduation and everything, and I had to decide what exactly I was going to do with my life. So that's when I officially decided that I want to be a writer, that I want to be a YouTuber, that I want to transition and all that shit. And the song's lyrics about being okay, don't worry about it, you're gonna figure it out, helped me a lot. And even though I'd say it's not exactly as iconic as the rest of the songs on this list, at least personally doesn't have that iconic feel. I don't know exactly how to explain it, just you can feel how some songs are iconic. This one doesn't have it as much. I feel like it deserved that spot on the list, just because of the impact it made to me at least. So let's move on to number 7, Wacky Mackie's Picky Picky. I gotta say, this song is probably the hardest one for me to explain what I love about it. But in general, it kind of has to be summarized that it's probably the best Weki song. And in my opinion, Weki have been improving with each song because I've loved each song more and more than the last one. And I know their most recent song is Tiki Taka, not Piki Piki, but I feel like this song is more iconic specifically for the line which is like it, don't like it, love it, don't want it, Weki Meki, I'm so picky. Like, how can I not put this song in the list with this kind of an iconic lyrics? It's so good, but it's just the attitude of the song is so awesome. I love the outfits which they have, specifically the hats which they kind of actually incorporate into the choreography a little, which I really like and definitely makes it more memorable. But yeah, I'm a huge Weki Meki fan and they deserve more. And I do think this is an iconic song. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about it. So let's move on to number 6 and what is going to be probably the longest explanation about why this song is here. That being TXT's Runaway. And yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting one to explain. Personally at least, one of the big reasons why I love this song is because it kind of sounds a lot like a BTS song, but it's still its own unique song because it's TXT after all, not BTS, but I don't know, it just has certain BTS feel to it. I don't know exactly how to explain it. I feel like BTS would have released this kind of song if they didn't become what they became since 2017. Because in my opinion, BTS has changed for the worse, but I'm not gonna get into it here. That has to have its own video, but I kind of don't want to make it because I don't want to share on a group, and because people are gonna lynch me if I do that. And TXT's sound in general is very similar to BTS. To me at least, they sound just a different shade of them, essentially. Because after all, they're pretty much using the same producers and same lyricists and everything. And on top of that, TXT has that youthful energy that BTS has been missing since DNA. Which is kind of when I think BTS started going downhill. For a lot of reasons, maybe they've just grown up, but I don't know, it's such a complex thing. Like I have like probably at this point a dozen reasons why, in my opinion, BTS are worse right now. When I might do it in a separate video, we'll see. I'm kind of considering it right now because I have to somehow get it out of my system once and for all. And I gotta say, the fact that I was really disappointed by Boy With Love might have been one of the reasons why I love this song so much, because it actually didn't disappoint me. In general, this song just sounds fresh and new and unique. The choreo is actually really great and I love it. It's so fast, so youthful and so energetic, and I love it about that. And again, talking about BTS, I feel like BTS is just not doing. It's just grown up at this point, grown past this, and I really hate that. But this song still has one huge drawback, and that being that it doesn't really sound like K-pop. And I mentioned that there was another song, when I was talking about G-Idol's Lion, I mentioned that there was another song on the list that has the same problem of not sounding like K-pop. This is the one. People have told me and disagreed with me that there is a K-pop sound, but there is. I mean, if you can see a difference between what K-pop sounded like in, let's say, 2010, between what sounded like in 2016, and what sounded like it sounds like now, then that means that there is a K-pop sound. Even if K-pop is not its own genre or whatever you want to call it, there is a recognizable K-pop sound. There is a structure to the K-pop songs that is very easily recognizable if you listen to it. So personally, it really pisses me off when people say that there is no K-pop sound, that K-pop is just American music sung in Korean. No, it's not. but it is going in that direction, which is what I wanted to talk about right now. Where this song sounds very Americanized, pretty much like it sounds like a Disney song to me. Uh, but it's also a bit of a blunder sound, which is why I don't really feel like listening to it that much. Even though I think this song is really good, and I'm not sure, because of that, I'm not sure whether it's a good thing that K-pop in general is moving in that direction of more Americanized, blunder songs, because while I personally dislike it because it makes me want to listen to the songs less, it doesn't necessarily make them bad. Because, as I said, for this song, I love it. I think it's really good. But I just don't have the itch to listen to it more than once. I don't know how else to explain. It's very hard for me. I'm not good at explaining, really. So, for number 5, we're gonna have Pink Fantasy's Fantasy. And if I had to summarize this group and the song in general, it's GFriend and Dreamcatcher's Love Child. If you don't believe me, just listen to the fucking song. It has the Japanese influence sound that GFriend does, with the very rock heavy sound that Dreamcatcher does. And I freaking love this song. And the group in general because of that, although I didn't really like Iriwa, which was their previous song, that much. It just didn't have the impact of this one, and this one is so good. Combine those two facts, that it's a Japanese influence song and that it's very rock heavy, and that the group has two really good vocalists. At least I noticed the two, they were the ones who stood out the most. It's such a fucking good song. The vocals are fucking better than, I'd say, 90% of K-pop vocals. I don't know, that's just how I felt when I listened to the song. It's really good. And the music video is not bad either. I won't say it's anything unique, but the coloring of it, it's really attractive, or should I say the lighting of it. Because it's mostly a dark music video, but there are different lightings, like I think at some points there are greens, red, and it's so satisfying to look at. It's aesthetically pleasing, and I love that. But the song in general is so good. Like, I'm a huge Dreamcatcher fan. I'd say I'm more of a casual GFriend fan, but I do like them. And definitely they're more Japanese influenced music I do love. I mean, Memoria, I think is my favorite Japanese track of theirs. I think there was one which I reacted to later, but I haven't listened to it ever since I reacted to it, so I don't remember it. But yeah, so I instantly fell in love with this song. So if you like Dreamcatcher or GFriend, definitely give this song a listen. It's really good. And I don't know what else to say, so let's move on to number 4, A.C.E's Say My Name. And yeah, similar to a lot of the songs on this list, this was the first song that I heard from A.C.E's. Even though they debuted in like late 2018, I think it was. I didn't really pay attention to them or notice them really. I think I've heard them before I found out about this song, but didn't really care about them. Maybe I've confused them with The Boys or something, I don't know. But yeah, when I stumbled upon this song, I was fucking blown away. They do feel a lot like BTS, coming from a small company, being so fucking talented and releasing very rap heavy or just rap focused songs and hip hop focused songs. I instantly fell in love with them because of that. And I think it was around the time when I was disappointed by BTS's comeback, although I'm not sure, it might have been before that. But I instantly fell in love with them because of that, because they had that BTS feel. And holy shit, even if we ignore that, the song fucking slaps. It's so good. honestly, if I had to say exactly what ATEEZ feel like, they feel like a combination of EXO's vocals and BTS's rapping in a way, now that I think about it. Because that's kind of how I feel about them. But this song is so good. The main thing that I love about this song is how it's exactly the kind of song which I love, with a lot of rapping, a lot of dancing, energetic, fast-paced, which with drops, huge drops. But the thing about this song is that it actually doesn't have a drop, a satisfying drop. Instead, it has for the third chorus a bit of few sounds added to it to make it more impactful. And the awesome thing about not having this satisfying drop is that you want to listen to the song more and more and more. And even almost a year later at this point, I still love listening to it. It's gonna be one of those songs which mainly, in my opinion, were released in 2017, which to this point I can still listen to without getting sick of them. I never got sick of them. And if you're curious about which songs those are, Twice as Nike, 17, not 17, BTS's DNA, Blackpink's As If It's Your Last, 17's Don't Wanna Cry, those songs to this day I can still listen to them, and I've already listened to them like 100 times and I'm still not sick of them. So this song kind of joins those. But yeah, it's a great song. It showcases their rapping, showcases their vocals, showcases their dancing, which is so impactful yet sometimes so funny. And their stage presence is fucking no joke. They have the best stage presence. And personally, it really pisses me off, and honestly I might just stop at this point browsing Reddit in general, let alone the unpopular K-pop opinion subreddit. But I've seen some people complain about that, about the ATEEZ releasing these high energy impactful songs and constantly dancing with this kind of energy. Like, if you don't like that from ATEEZ, don't listen to them, don't watch them. And some people have complained also, just bringing this up, about Stray Kids and them being not good producers just because their music doesn't appeal to them. And again, I commented to people on the subreddit, if you don't like them, don't listen to them. So I've complained about groups having a sound and then all of a sudden changing it to something completely different just to appeal to a different demographic or to a larger demographic in general. So Stray Kids and ATEEZ not changing their sound and sticking with what the fans love is like godsend for me, and I'm really pissed off when people complain about it. But yeah, I went a bit of a rant here, but I really love this song. And Honjong's mullet, anybody who has an opinion that thinks that is ugly, shut up. No, honestly, I don't see what's the point with it. It's iconic as hell. It definitely made him stand out a lot, and I love that. Yeah, I love ATEEZ in general. They're definitely my top 3 group. So, let's move on to top 3, with number 3 being VAV and Give Me More. This might be the one group in this list which you most likely don't know about, although they've kind of been steadily growing in popularity, pretty much close to COC number of sales, at least. But VAV are a really good group in my opinion. They're very talented. Their debut song, which I checked out, I think it was like around October, which I haven't checked out beforehand, is terrible. Not gonna lie, it's terrible, but it's terrible because the producing of it is terrible, not because the group is terrible. And the proof is that once they actually got a better producer for the songs, I think from 2017 or 2018, they started releasing bop after bop after bop. Like, you should check them out. They're one really underrated group, and I can promise you that you're gonna love them. Mostly just start from their most recent songs and go backwards, but there's some really good songs. My personal favorites would be Gorgeous, I think it was, which Yuri, my friend, recently requested me to react to it, but I told him that I had already seen it, so I couldn't react to it. Senorita, which was the song which actually got me into VAV. And also, as I'm talking about Senorita, I gotta mention that Give Me More sounds very similar to Senorita, or is at least in the exact same genre and everything. And I'm gonna get into it more in a second. What other song? Poison, Thriller Killer. Like, they have so many good songs, and I've not even get into the B-sides. VAB are one of the few groups whose B-sides I fucking love, and I'm not really that huge fan of B-sides. Like, off the top of my head, the only other groups whose B-sides that I was able to listen to are BTS and Twice. Honestly, off the top of my head, I don't think there were any other that I really was able to get into their B-sides. So it's a big privilege for a group for me to like their B-sides. Yes, you should check them out. But anyway, going back to specifically this song, it's a great summer song, and honestly, it almost was a #1 song on this list. But it's a great song with great rapping, with great choreography, great visuals in the music video. It's just so good, and in my opinion, if you didn't know, just want to mention collaboration with, I think, some Latino artist called De La Ghetto and Playing Skills. I haven't really ever listened to them, but what they contributed to the song, in my opinion, is great. I love it. Like, it doesn't feel out of place, it doesn't feel forced, like with BTS's Halsey or any of BTS's collabs, honestly. In my opinion, this is how you do a collab. This kind of music is exactly up VAV's alley. They have done music like this before, so it doesn't feel out of place. He doesn't feel out of place. It just feels great. That's how you do a collab. I love this song. And as I mentioned, it does sound a lot like Senorita. And by the way, Senorita is a Korean remake of, I think, some not Japanese, German song. I don't know. Just read on it on Wikipedia or under the music video in the description there. But it is similar, but it's only because it's in the same genre. But I just think this song is really great. I don't know what else to tell you. I could have put VAV's more recent song, Poison, here, but I feel like just this one is more iconic, kind of, partially at least, because it sounds similar to Senorita, and if I could, I would put actually Senorita here, because that song was the one that introduced me to VAV, and it's so fucking good. It came out of nowhere. And holy hell, January, please check out VAV. You're not gonna be disappointed. They're so good. They're honestly, in my opinion, top tier group for sure. They're definitely at this point, I'd say they might be top 3 groups for me, especially since NCT hasn't really released anything that I like this year. So yeah, I put it at the top 3. But let's move on now to number 2 in my list. And for number 2, it's going to be something which my friend Yuri said should have been a number 1. And honestly, I'd say it does deserve a number 1 spot. This and number 1 are actually pretty much almost tied, to be fair. They're 2 very different songs, but for what they are, honestly, they are the best in what they're trying to do. So you might as well consider this as number 1 too. But yeah, for number 2, it's gonna be Wanna's Lit. And if you haven't listened to this song, it's essentially what everybody thought that BTS's Idol was going to be. But I'd say even better than that. Because when we saw, when BTS's Idol's teaser was released, it sounded very Korean and everybody was hyped about that. And to this day, I still remember how much I fucking loved the teaser. But then the song was released and it had much more Africanly influence and somehow ended up being a Bollywood song of all things. of all things, but it still was a good song and I freaking love it. But this one is truly a Korean K-pop song. This song has so many Korean influence that I, who am not Korean, cannot even begin to explain, so I'm gonna link you to DKTV's video about it, which they have done a lot of videos explaining K-pop songs. But I'm pretty sure for this one you definitely need that explanation, because there are so many influences from sounds, words, music, visuals. There are so many. It's so rich in Korean culture, and I do really love the song. And I'm happy that despite that fact, it's still such a good K-pop song. It's not completely Korean sounding music, not specifically K-pop, but it somehow managed to be a modern K-pop song too. Like, despite all these traditionally Korean influences, it's still a good rap song. It has great vocals, it has great dancing, like everything about it is so fucking good. I was fucking blown away. Like, it's kind of rare for me, but this was one of those songs which I instantly felt it was a 10 out of 10. Though, when I reacted to it, because I think I did, I felt like maybe should have had one last full out chorus similar to what Idol did, but it didn't have that. But I still love it, and I still think it's really good. And yeah, that's how I feel about this one. Before we get into number one though, there are a few honorable mentions, those being Monsta X's Follow. And I didn't put it on the list because even though it's a perfect follow-up to Alligator, which was I think the last Monsta X song, at least the last one that I really cared about, it just wasn't as iconic as Alligator. Plus, Shona, oh no, it was one hole left, right? Yeah, and one hole left. So I don't know if I wanted to put it there because of that. Not that it really matters on the quality part, but it just would have left a bit of a sore taste in my mouth. The other honorable mention is Rocket Punch's Bim Bam Boom, which is a great debut song. In my opinion, it's really iconic, but there wasn't enough space anyway. I didn't want to make like 20 K-pop songs, which at that point would make it like might as well include every single song of this year that I loved. But I do think it's really good, and honestly, debatably, maybe I should have included it because it's probably the only K-pop song ever that has two different choruses. And if you've listened to the song, you know what I'm talking about, but I think I did complain in my reaction about it that the second chorus is a bit annoying because it goes in more cute direction, meanwhile the other one was in more, I don't know, maybe I could call it a girl crush direction, like it was more bassy, more girl crush direction. Meanwhile, the other one was a bit more cute and high-pitched singing chorus. But still, I think it was a really good song. The third honorable mention would be Nature's Oopsie My Bad, which kind of the only reason why I haven't put it on the list is because I haven't really listened to any other Nature song, so I cannot really compare it to the other ones to say whether it's better, worse, more iconic or anything, but I do like it a lot. And it kind of came out of nowhere for me, especially for what it is. I didn't expect anything like that from a group like this, with this kind of name. Like with a name like Nature, you would think it's gonna be some more softer, cuter, like something Cosmic Girls would release. I was kind of under the impression something like that it was going to be, but it was nothing like that. Imagine Twice as Daehyun's part in Likey, which everybody wants a bigger version of. This is kind of this song because the group in general reminds me a lot of Twice, but specifically the rapper, which I freaking love, reminds me of Chaeyoung from Twice, which is my bias, and I love her too. And it kind of feels like if that part of Twice as Like You was taken and made into a full song in a way, but also a bit more. Uh, yeah, I love it. Probably it's very similar to the next honorable mention, which I think is gonna be the last one. That being Red Velvet Simsalabim. And honestly, Red Velvet is the only big group which didn't disappoint me, at least the first time this year. Because I freaking loved Simsalabim, even though a lot of people hated it. I freaking loved it. On first listen, of course, like most noise songs, it sounded very incoherent and all over the place. But with more listens, it became so much better, and it's like some kind of ritual song, which I freaking love this side of Red Velvet. But the follow-up song, which was Oompa Oompa, and their most recent song, I don't really care about those. Some people might love them, some might not, but I definitely do not like their most recent track. It wasn't really that memorable at all. Oompa Oompa at least is kind of more memorable, but still I feel like it tried to do the same thing as Simsalabim, but also go into more generic direction of doing just normal K-pop song, and it kind of didn't commit to it either. I've talked about it more in my reaction to Oompa Oompa, so you can check it out. And yeah, that's my honorable mentions, so let's go into number 1. At number 1 we have Everglow's Bon Bon Chocolate. Honestly, I've pretty much decided to say that this is the best song of the year ever since it was released, because it instantly blew me away on first listen, and there was no question about it. This song is perfect. If I was reacting back when it was released, I would probably have given it like a 20 out of 10. It's that fucking good. Some people say that the autotune in the song is really annoying and that it's bad, but in my opinion, it's not. It actually makes the song more unique, and it works because they're not using the autotune to hide terrible vocals or anything like that. They're just using it as a stylistic choice to make the song more unique and different and memorable, and in my opinion they succeeded on that. And there's so much good about the song. I don't know if I'll be able to go over everything, but it's so good. And I love how it just jumps right into the chorus. Like, it doesn't wait, it just starts with na 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 na. It just doesn't wait, it just jumps you right into it, and it just keeps going. And it doesn't stop. It has love bass, it's hard hitting, it's so fucking great girl crush. And yeah, there's just so much great about this song. My personally favorite part of the song, except the na 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 part, is during the pre-chorus, because in the background during the pre-chorus you can hear a very quiet sound going, I think, higher and higher. I think it's some kind of background vocal, which kind of gives you a feeling of sadness and maybe melancholy. Like, it just makes you feel more emotional and nostalgic, and I really love that so much. And during the chorus there's an awesome bass drop, like it's so good. This is exactly my type of K-pop, and I love it. And just because we're talking about Everglow, I just want to share my small opinion about their more recent song, Adios. I do think Adios, it's not exactly what I wanted to hear from them, and I get why some people think it's not as good as Bon Bon Chocolate, and kind of why I haven't put it on the list, but I also have the rule for the list that I can put only one group per number. So even if I didn't have the rule, I probably still want to have put it because it's not what I wanted from Everglow, and despite that, it's still a really good song, but it's pretty much Kill This Love done right, because my opinion on Blackpink's Kill This Love is that it was very underwhelming. It was just a remake of Do 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 Do, and it wasn't even that good. Like Adios is everything that Kill This Love should have been. But yeah, I love this song, and I, I don't think there's anything else to say, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also check out in the description to my Wattpad, where you can check out my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you do enjoy my stories or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon, where you can pledge your support. Any amount helps, but still, if you don't want to do it, you can still help me out by liking this video, subscribing, and especially by sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye!